Oh, hi. Welcome to our crib. Come on in. It's day 3650. We have everybody here. Take a look. Celebrating a decade. A decade of doing this twice. So we have a lot of food. We have an enormous cake with a number of days on it. We have the sign-in boards. Everybody can leave their name tag here. I'll be giving a talk a little bit later, and we'll be sharing some stories. Everyone's got their tag. It's going to be fun. There will be no food left by the end of the night. We can guarantee that. So come on in.
3,650 days! Woo! All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for being here. Yeah, that's a decade. That is 10 years. And I was going to say I don't know what to say, but I do know what to say because I have it written down. This is the third time we've done this. The first time was on New Year's Day of 2003 when the first book came out, and a lot of people were here for that. The second time was November 2nd of 2005 at Canyon Cafe when I got my body desecrated. That was filmed by the Today Show, never aired by the Today Show. But it's okay because I've learned in the marketing world, no one knows the difference. Like, I heard you were on the Today Show. Yeah, they interviewed me. I never said it didn't air. Yeah, they said the film crew, they shot the interview. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I was on the Today Show. But you never actually say. This is the third time that we're here. No, I was not on the Today Show.
Some other show.
Maybe I was. I was on Wake Up. It was Wake Up Springfield. That was something.
You were on Channel 4, Scotty.
Yes, I was. I have a note here.
11 today.
Okay. So I have a note here. It says, "Thank your mother, you putz." Because she put this all on. So give her a hand.
You're not a puss.
Initially, I didn't plan on doing anything big. We were going to get a cake and have, dinner with a couple people. But then I tell my mom about this idea, and then it turns into this extravaganza, which is awesome. Couldn't have asked for a better setup. So in addition to thanking my mom, who put this together like on the fly, also want to thank Larry from Video Views for doing all the production tonight. Awesome. And everyone turn to the back. That's Tim, who's doing all the refreshments tonight. His name's Lee. He goes by Tim sometimes, so. Yeah, that works. If only he had a name tag. Oh, wait, he does. I'm an idiot.
And Brandon's at the bar.
Just because I wear him doesn't mean I remember him. And then Brandon at the bar also, so. So I have three things that I wanted to do tonight. Number one, tell 3 stories that I never, ever get to tell. Because they're dirty. No, it's because I just never get to tell them for whatever reason, but they're important and I want to share them. 2, share a couple of life lessons that I've learned. There's been a lot, but I went through a couple of what I find to be the most important ones, so I got that. And then I have 3 groups of people to thank, not individual people, because it's hard to do that because you always leave someone out. The first time I wrote a book, I had acknowledgments in the back. And it said, thanks to a bunch of my friends and all these people. And then like 4 of my friends said, hey, I wasn't in the book. You didn't thank me. Like Dan Spector was like, I was there that night at the bar and you didn't put my name in there. You're dead to me now. Like,
and you're not here tonight either.
Yeah, so that's right. That's right. Sorry. My ex-friend, Dan, right. So he sent me a text. It's okay. So instead of making the attempt unsuccessfully to thank all the individual people who have made this happen, what I want to do is attach to each of the 3 stories, thank 3 groups of people. And by doing that, that should pretty much encapsulate everybody. So is that okay with everyone? Yeah. Okay. So I want to tell you the titles of the stories first. Then we'll go through them. So the 3 stories are, number 1, why the Pittsburgh Penguins suck. That backfired. Number 2, story number 2, how I became an amateur proctologist. And now you know why I don't tell them. And number 3, attack of the wheelchair zombies. So those are the 3 stories that I want to share tonight, and we'll start with why the Pittsburgh Penguins suck. October 8th of 2006, I was in Dallas, Texas for a presentation, and I was a little nervous because it was this group of financial professionals, and they were high rollers, big earners, had more money than any of us will ever see, and I was concerned that maybe I should wear like a suit and a tie. I don't actually own a tie. Not a fan. I get claustrophobic, and they're just sort of not my style. So I thought, I'm going to do what I always do. I wear a nice sport coat. I wear my nice sandals, not my pool shoes, but my nice sandals. I got to step it up. Some Kenneth Cole. I got to do it right. So the presentation went great. It was awesome. And after it was over, we're in line to get food, and this guy comes up to me. And this dude is dressed unbelievable. All the jewelry, just rocking ice nonstop, necklace, got the chest hair, the whole thing's going on. And he comes up to me, and he pulls out like a drug wad of money. Peels off a $100 bill and says, "Here you go, Scott. Go buy yourself some shoes and socks." I'm not usually speechless. I was speechless. What are you supposed to say to that? So,
what about pants?
Well, pants I think are kind of overrated, but that's another program. So I go to my table and I talk to my client, and I said,
Did you take it?
I'm gonna get to as I was about to say, I get to the table, and I say to my client, like, "Hey, look at this. I just got $100 from this guy that you work with that was in the audience today. Like, what's this guy's deal? He was kind of a jerk." He said, "Oh, was it Gary?" I was like, "I don't know. It's that guy." He goes, "Yeah, that's Gary. He gives everybody a hard time about their clothes because he owns the Pittsburgh Penguins. He owns 4 banks and a corporate jet, and that's like his thing." So I figured instead of buying shoes and socks, which clearly I never did, I thought I would keep that $100 bill as a reminder that we always have a choice whether or not we're going to allow other people to edit us. And that's why I keep this in my pocket. And that brings us to the first lesson of tonight. Living a life without editing yourself is not about writing. It's about walking your truth. It's about staying loyal to yourself. And it's about giving your river a voice and letting it flow. Yeah. Amen? Yeah. The gratitude that goes along with this story, the first group of individuals, is to thank my family, of which there are many tonight. So we should give them a round of applause for being here. So if you've never been to the Ginsberg complex before, the Kahnemans straight ahead, and then we got... So we have a couple different houses, but for the most part, it's all Ginsbergs on the street. So we grew up together. If you didn't have any food, you just go next door, and that happened a lot. But I found this letter. My mom gave this to me a couple years ago, but this is a letter, an email that I wrote. The subject of the email says, "Stupid Real World." And it was dated September 24th, 2002. So this is right after I graduated from college, living in Portland. My first book was in production, and this is a letter I wrote to my parents, essentially telling them how much I love them, and then asking them for money. So there's a couple passages that I read this over before I came, and I thought, I got to read this. So it says, don't worry, it's not the crying part. It's all right. Oh, who am I kidding? Ginsberg's, we cried and everything. All right, so after all the buttering up, it says, basically, Mom and Dad, the whole letter boils down to the fact that you did a great job. Too many parents screw up their kids' life and don't know how to find the right balance between lessons through family values and rules while still giving room for independent growth and discovery. That's why we're here tonight, because success never comes unassisted. That's our first lesson. Is that all right?
Hey, Bruce, and in celebration of Scott's 10-year anniversary, is there anything that you want to share with?
Well, I still remember when Scotty was studying for his speeches. He had like 100 or 200 cards on the floor, studying all his notes for his speech, and it was so unbelievable. I couldn't believe that he could remember all of these things, but he speaks so marvelously that it's an amazing feat. And then I will give him $100 to buy those new shoes and socks.
Uncle Bruce, what do you have to say?
Well, Scott, I have to say that it was probably your start with working with me with America Deals that made you what you are today. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it was me playing with you when you were a kid. Maybe not. maybe it's all those other things you talked about. But I was surprised that you weren't mobbed when you referred to 65-year-old ladies as old ladies. Because if you look around the room, you were getting ready to be mobbed in a different way. But congratulations on 10 years and another 10. Love you.
Lou, we're celebrating Scott's 10-year anniversary. In dog years, that's 70, don't you think? And we want to wish him the best. Now, good speech, good food, good treats. Congratulations to Scott on 10 years in dog years. Remember, you know what? It's Scott Ginsberg. No, Scott Ginsberg.
In all seriousness, though, Scott, there's a reason why I've done the best I can to maintain a relationship for the last 20 years. Couldn't be prouder. Love you with all my heart, man. Congratulations.
Well, we'd like to hear from another childhood chum friend of Scott's for way more than 10 years. What would you like to share with us about Scott's University?
Scott, thank you for inviting me to your wedding. This was great. I'm a little upset I wasn't in the wedding party, but your beautiful bride, and thank you very much.
Okay.
What's another good question? Ready?
All right.
Okay, so for Scott's 10-year anniversary, I'd like to share the microphone. Now, I know, don't be nervous.
Okay, I've never been.
I know it's a microphone and a camera. Don't be nervous. But if there's anything you'd like to share with us about Scott, please.
Should I do it in Hebrew or English? No, there's only one option.
Could you?
Trilingual. Scott, I have to give you credit where credit is due on this one. I walked up to you, I think it was about 5 years ago, conference in St. Louis. I said, my name's David Simon Garland. You're Scott Ginsberg. I know who you are. You don't know who I am, but I'm going to be a professional speaker and we're going to be friends. And I remember that day very, very clearly, and we have become the best of friends. Nothing but congratulations. This is a massive accomplishment. I can't wait to be back here for the 20-year, the 30-year, the 50-year, all that kind of good stuff. So congrats, and here's the little one. You want it back?
Hello.
Okay, so this is Scott's grandma. Like it's a big surprise, but we don't want to make you nervous, but if there's anything you wanted to share on tape for the rest of eternity, you could.
I haven't thought about what I should say, so
Just speak from the heart.
Let it flow.
he is my sweet, precious, wonderful baby boy. He will always be my sweet, wonderful, precious baby boy. And he grew into the best-looking, good-looking, smartest kid alive.
Thank you very
One
much.
of them.
Second lesson is how I became an amateur proctologist. David, why don't you come on up? Yeah, that's okay. So I received an email on November 23rd of 2005, and I printed it out. There's a few emails I've received over the years that I keep on my wall for inspiration, for reminders, for laughs, and this is one of them. In the words of Dave Barry, I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Dear Scott, my name is Karen Tarantine. I'm 65 years old, and lately, I've been having a very difficult time with my bowel movements. There's more. Wait for it. I tried to get her. Okay. However, now that I read your blog every day, I have become regular again. Apparently, hysterical laughter is just what the doctor ordered to get things moving again. Thanks for everything you do. There's not an actual lesson learned. I really just wanted to share that story. But I did write down something that over the past couple of months I've been thinking about of why you do what you do. I think all of us, whether you're an employee or a leader or a parent or whatever, why do you do what you do? So I wrote this down as it pertained to this email. The human need to feel valuable to the world runs deeper than anything. That's why you have to surround yourself with visual evidence of why you do what you do. That's how you remind yourself that what you do matters. Or in my case, that your writing helps old ladies poop. So, speaking of bowel movements, This particular story brings the next group of people that I want to thank, and that is all my mentors, of which there are many here tonight. A lot of my mentors couldn't make it tonight. Some of them are out of town. Some of them don't know they're my mentors, but that's the whole point. I mean, a mentor doesn't have to be someone you know. A mentor is someone that models, and from them you're able to learn. So that's what I wanted to share, and I know there's a few of those mentors here tonight. You'll know them when you meet them, but give them a hand for being here.
I'd like to give the microphone to Scott's aunt. Favorite aunt name's Vicky. And what would you like to share with us tonight about Scott that's memorable?
I just think everything he does is memorable, and I say this to Scott all the time, but I think because he is one of the only people of his age that I know who at a very young age knew what he wanted to do, followed his dreams, he persevered, went through hard times with the support of his parents to help him get it through, and boy, he went after his dream and just kept going and going, and more than anything has grown and matured, and we have watched him just evolve into this absolutely gifted speaker and with a heart of gold that he's amazing. He's like a role model.
Thank you, babe. My sister, and you know, and I just wanted to say, sitting here with my brother and sister-in-law and brother-in-law and friend, I can say this, but you know, there's a secret because Scott always wanted to know, he always asked the question of people, what is your name tag? What have you found that you use to be approachable to people? And so I thought about that. Well, I thought about that, and over all those years, when I was a teenager, I have several name tags. Because for all those years, I was Jane Gadd's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then for all those years, I was, oh, you're Frank's son. That's wonderful. Oh, you're Marco, but you're Frank's son. That's fantastic. Oh, I go to the football game, and oh, you're Bruce's brother. Oh, fantastic.
And now you're Scott's dad.
And now I'm Scott's dad. So now we have Aunt Donna, who has also been around our family for so long, and would you like to share anything about Scott?
I certainly would. Thank you. I just want to say, Scott, you are, as Vicki said, such a role model, and you show my kids, Madison neighbor, I wish they were right here with me to tell you just how important you are, and just showing that you can be whatever you want and achieve whatever you want. We all love you, and they love being around you, and you make everyone feel so special, and that's just such a great quality that you have. So thank you. So congratulations on 10 years. We love you.
Okay, the third story, Attack of the Wheelchair Zombies. So this was June of 2006, and I booked a speech for the Washington Initiative for Supportive Employment. Had no idea what that meant, looked it up, and based on the website, they place individuals with disabilities into the workforce. Not disabled people, individuals with disabilities, because they're a person before a condition. So I get there, closed-minded as I am, assuming that it's disabled people, or the individuals with disabilities, they must all be in wheelchairs, right? Because that's how closed-minded my brain was, thinking it was only a physical disability. Not the case. The majority of the individuals in this audience had cognitive impairments, from autism to Asperger's to mental retardation to Down syndrome. I didn't know this until I got on stage. And there was 500 people. And it occurred to me like 5 minutes into my presentation that I'm talking probably way too fast. Most people, there was a lot of individuals with blindness or hearing damage, couldn't see the slides or couldn't read the slides. And I had this moment of sheer panic. Oh my God, I'm giving a speech to 500 individuals that might not be able to hear me. And so instantly I have to change the whole thing, not really the content, but just more of the delivery and the approach that I'm sharing with these people. A couple seconds of brief panic and just massive perspiration, but then something happened, and I changed the way that I attended to these people who were the most excitable, awesome, fun, appreciative, loud people in the audience I've ever met. They were great. They were laughing. They were responding back to the stuff I said. They were raising their hand. I mean, it was awesome. Then the speech ended. Now, when you give a speech, ideally you want to, thank you very much, and then you want to sort of exit, and then like the person would come back up. Well, thanks very much, Scott. We'll your check's in the mail. Yeah. you think something like that's going to happen. You think that a person will come up and sort of relieve you of your duties of the stage. That didn't happen. It's 500 people. I said, thank you. I get off the stage. I said, thank you. My name is Scott, and clap. And I get down off the stage. Silence. And then they mobbed me. And they just started coming. And it's like, okay, so zombies, they don't really move fast, but they just keep advancing. So they just were mobbing me. And the majority of these individuals with cognitive impairments don't have a sense of boundaries. So they're, giving you hugs, and they're slapping your butt. I don't know who that was. And it was overwhelming mentally, physically. And it was cool. It was no problem. Everyone was cool. Eventually, the crowd subsided, and they sort of moved along. But there's one guy in the front who was sitting the whole time. He never got up. He was just sort of patiently waiting. And it was an individual with Down syndrome, so I don't know how old he was, 25, 35, I'm not sure. But his name tag said Hurricane Mike. I love this guy already. And everybody sort of fades away, and I'm like, getting a drink of my water and packing stuff up. And he comes up to me. And you can tell that he can't speak very well. But he puts his hand on my name tag. And he says, it's not the name tag, it's the heart behind it.
That was very nice.
And I'm supposed to be the speaker. Again, what do you say to that? Nothing. Sometimes you have to say nothing. Sometimes you have to just receive it and just let it just soak in, let the pearls sink. And the lesson that is attached to that, because essentially I've heard that from various people. It's not about the name tag, it's what's behind it. And it's the heart behind it, and that's where the commitment comes from. So, lesson is, the problem is not a fear of commitment. The problem is a failure to communicate to the people who matter most that you're fully committed. Commitment, if it's not symbolized or memorialized or personified in a tangible way, then you're just winking in the dark. The people that I want to thank for this are my friends, and that's everyone else who's here. So start clapping so I can... Okay, I had to buy myself some time so I could get it back. All right. So those are the three groups of people I wanted to thank. Those are the three stories that I've never had a chance to share. Those are the three lessons that I wanted to share with you. So the last thing I want to say, and I guess pretty much everyone has a glass, so we may as well just do a toast. What the heck? 3,650 days. Thanks for being here. Thanks for believing in me, and here's to the next decade.
Words of wisdom for the guy that is usually sharing them with me. Pressure's on. Scott, I think that one of the wonderful things that you shared tonight was just being able to sing your truth, and that is inspiring to me, and I hope that you continue to do it, and actually I have no doubt that you will, because you're committed like that. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I'd have to say, and you know this, that anyone asks me what blog I read on a regular basis, yours is the one. So thanks for being my friend.
Scott's mom is really what I am tonight. Scott's mom. I mean, I know I'm supposed to say that I'm a wife and a daughter and a mother and a sister and an aunt and all those wonderful things, and a Pilates teacher and a aerobics teacher and a trainer. But really, a dog lover. But tonight, I'm Scott's mom, and proud to be it. And I'm glad everybody came to the party to honor my son.
and Nametag. Oh, here. Scott, happy anniversary to you. I wondered if there's anything that you'd like to say about me.
Well, we see here today, we see a lot of smiling faces, we see people celebrating success, and it's your fault.
I take full credit.
Takes all the credit. You know the whole joke of, oh, I learned it all from him. No, I really actually did learn it all from him. I stole all of his moves. They work. I'm broke now, but it's...
Thank you. Okay, you've used up your time.
And we're done.
We've removed the name tag already, but Arthur, one of Scott's mentors, heartfelt mentors, is there anything that you would like to share, even just a few kind words or not so kind words in honor of Scott's anniversary?
In honor of Scott's anniversary, I would tell you that Scott and I have traveled together. We've sat together at my dining room table many times, numerous times at Starbucks, and I will tell you that Scott has a wonderful knack for making me feel good, making me feel heard, making me feel wanted, and for some reason he keeps calling me back, which I'm not sure about. He's a wonderful man, he's a wonderful young man, and I can't wait to meet the version 4.0 now that he's 3.0.
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you very much. A very, very special person, probably the most special person in attendance tonight. As far as, I'm maybe the second most, but certainly right at the top of the list. And in honor of this wonderful 10-year occasion, what can you share with us that can be remembered for eternity?
Well, I've only been a part of it for 2 months, and I've already been impacted by all of the energy in this room tonight that will be with me for the next 50 years, maybe the rest of my life. So,
Thank you. Brittany, Scott's girlfriend, thank you. Just be sure that I get to everybody in all three parts of Scott's speech. I know what part that you belong in, and he didn't change your, did he? No, he didn't change your name tag.
He told me what to write on it.
But I know as one of Scott's mentors, you would fit into that category. You've been a dear friend of Scott. Can you share anything with us tonight?
I can't talk too much about the phenomenals row. He's just exploded. It's one of my favorite words. I think the biggest thing that I can share about Scott is he is a living testament to what happens when you give yourself permission and when you will let other people give you permission. Because he's given himself permission to do whatever comes naturally, and it's turned into something absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, Dixie. You mean a lot.
3,650 days. That's 10 years. That's a decade. Stick yourself out there. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. This is live from the Ginsberg home. I'll see you in the next decade. Goodbye. My name is Scott.